Hello and welcome to the new episode of our Fullfunnel B2B marketing podcast. This is going live, and this podcast, as you know, is brought to you by Fullfunnel.io and Fullfunnel Academy. This is your host, Andrei Zinkovich, and meet my guest, Denis Yu, CEO at Blitz Metrics, and my go-to marketer when it comes to Facebook advertisement. And I'm super happy to have Denis today because I want to dive deeply into Facebook ads. I want to understand how to leverage Facebook ads especially for companies with long and complex sales cycles, because Facebook is considered as a great channel for B2C advertisement or low ticket B2B products, and quite often companies, when it comes to high ticket services or products with high average contract value, they often tend to think that Facebook won't work for their companies. So that would be a core topic for our conversation. Denis, thanks a lot, first of all, for joining us today.
Hey, pleasure, Andre, and pleasure everyone here. Glad you guys are here. Just so I know whether it's on the replay or you guys are live with us, type into the chat where you guys are from. Love to know, because in Corona times, it's tougher to make real connections. And you guys know with B2B, if you're driving a sale, you have to build a connection. People have to feel like they know you.
Yeah, absolutely. So please type in the chat where you're coming from. And maybe let's connect on Twitter as well. So feel free to drop your Twitter handle so we can connect later, or LinkedIn, whatever platform you prefer. So we have guys from Barcelona. Jason is from Florida. Oksana is from Minsk, Belarus. I'm chatting from Croatia, from Split, from Croatia. So happy to see that we have the audience across the globe. So I want to start first of all with Blitz questionnaire. I have 3 questions, and I want to ask you to answer the first thing that comes to your mind. And the first question I have is, what is the number one thing you passionately disagree about Facebook B2B advertisement best practices?
Well, that long form video doesn't work. Most B2B marketers, they're putting ads, they're trying to drive immediately to a call, right? 15 minutes. But if you're out looking for a wife, you wouldn't go to a bar and use your B2B practices saying, hey, let's hop on a 15-minute date, right? And the thing that works best in B2B, which most B2B marketers don't do, it's so fundamental. You already know this is what's necessary, is having content that shares that you're knowledgeable. They're so busy with ads and leads. And maybe if you're doing marketing and you're trying to drive more sales qualified leads to the salespeople to qualify them and book, meetings, and then have the account executives come in, you might forget that first, that prospect has to trust you. They have to know what your company does. They have to understand that you can address their issue. You have to move through multiple steps. And the longer your B2B sales cycle is, then the more touches it requires before they're ever going to even get on the phone with you. For example, we set up the digital marketing for Marketo, which sold for several $billion to Salesforce. And Jason Miller was our main contact. He then moved to LinkedIn and ran their lead gen and content marketing. And I think he's now at Microsoft. But what we did was created something that he called Big Rock content. So Big Rock content would be interviewing other people in the world of lead gen, interviewing other people who were authoritative, that the customers he wanted to reach would actually say, oh, this guy is very well known. So they would do things like podcasts. They had the Marketo Summit, where they would have world leaders and just other people in the industry there, their best customers, interviewing them, not promoting Marketo and the software. And what we do is take snippets from those interviews. We turn them into blog posts. 5 things that I learned from Jason Miller, right, on how to do X. So think about your company. What is it that you do that you can turn into things like listicles, but instead of you producing the content, you're interviewing your best customers, not as a testimonial, because everyone understands the testimonial is bogus, right? You don't trust the testimonial. But sharing knowledge that's actually helpful and turning that into videos, like a 1-minute clip, or maybe it's a 30-minute webinar, just like this one, and or whatever the length is, and you pull out 5 or 6 one-sentence interesting aha nuggets, and you turn that into an edited 1-minute video that you put out there. So lots of video is going to be key. And think about your competitors. Do you see them doing video? Do you see them boosting posts from their Facebook? Odds are they're not. They're trying to drive everyone straight to a landing page that has a form that collects all this information before you even get a chance to know who they are, what problem are you trying to solve, like all those other kinds of things. And you know that it takes a relationship. It takes multiple steps. That big mistake I see in B2B marketers is this idea that the internet is so big, or because it's digital marketing and it's not people, that you can just get them to buy right away. You don't buy right away. Think about if your thought process in researching buying a new house or a car as a consumer. Certainly if a consumer transaction like this, you're not just going to buy a house right away. You're going to look at it. You're going to talk to a realtor. You're going to go visit it, take your wife to go look, right? And B2B, it's the same thing. It's going to take a lot of touches. So a lot of people will think, back to this one myth or, thing I disagree with. They think that Facebook is for consumer. Yeah, most of the people that are marketing there are doing it from a consumer standpoint. But with B2B, I can target exactly who I want. I'll give you an example. One of my friends, Tristan Parmley, he runs a chiropractor agency. So he's servicing chiropractors, right? It's B2B. So he's not a chiropractor, but he is servicing chiropractors. He's got 70 clients, and he wants to do more digital marketing services for chiropractors. And some people might say, well, Facebook's not going to work because it's only consumers. And you could target consumers. They have a bad back, or they got in a car accident, or neck pain, the kinds of things that chiropractors do. But we have another friend, and his name is Sean Dill. Sean Dill runs the Black Diamond Club, which is a network of 700 chiropractors, right? So what Tristan does is he does webinars with Sean Dill saying, here's what you need to know about Facebook ads in 2021, or how do you optimize your Google presence? So when someone types in chiropractor Minsk, whatever, then you show up as one of the top chiropractors in Google. So he's not selling. He's not saying, please sign up to be a customer of my agency, but he's just giving the best information he has. But he's interviewing the #1 person in chiropractors, right? This is the most famous chiropractor. So he's making content with that chiropractor. And what do you think happens when he does that webinar, when he goes live, when he has dinner with this guy and takes pictures of having dinner and the gigantic steak and what are these? They're called the tomahawk steak, where it's a big steak and the bone is like 2 feet long. So he takes a picture holding this gigantic tomahawk steak, him and Sean Dill, right? Saying, so awesome, to be able to have dinner with Sean Dill. And that he puts on Facebook, and he runs that as an ad. And most B2B marketers think, why would you do that? The picture of them eating the big steak together has nothing to do with generating leads, because after all, we want them to sign up, fill out the form, become a customer, start paying $2,000 a month. These chiropractors, most of them are not making a lot of money because it's mainly just them. So a marketing expense of $2,000 a month is a lot of money for them. Now I know for B2B enterprise, that's different, but if you're going to get a chiropractor as an example, by the way, don't think that this doesn't apply to you. This applies to any kind of B2B. Why? Because it's a relationship. It takes multiple steps. So this chiropractor has to know, like, and trust you. So if they've never heard of Tristan Parmley and Chiro Revenue, they might be thinking, you know what? This is just like any of the other chiropractor agencies out there, because there's so many. So think about what you do. Do a Google search right now, whether it's now, or the replay. If you're watching this on the replay, do a Google search right now on the thing that you do and see how many competitors do you have. And then when people are searching for those competitors, think about how many touches does it take. The people are going to do some research. And if they clicked on you, I bet you they're clicking on your competitors and they're doing a little research. They're trying to decide. And if they click on the competitor, maybe they also click on you, whether it's on Google or on Facebook or whatever it is. They probably will put in the email address to get the lead magnet or whatever. But the difference that creates a conversion not just a lead. It's easy to generate leads. You can generate leads all day long with LinkedIn, with cold calling, Facebook ads. Facebook has lead forms, which are sometimes good. But the key that creates the conversion that everyone misses is the trust from having other industry people. So Tristan's very smart, and what he's done is, instead of himself creating all this content here, hey, you should sign up, right? Sign up, sign up. Instead, he's taking the most interesting content together with his clients. So he's interviewing his clients, saying, hey, Dr. Mike DeCubulis, who's in Downers Grove, Illinois, what is your best tip for other chiropractors that work with personal injury attorneys? Because we know that personal injury attorneys are attracting consumers that they get in a car accident or something, and then that attorney will then refer business to the chiropractor. So if you're a chiropractor and you want to get more business, you should build your relationships with the personal injury attorney, because that way you guys can work together. So he's interviewing Mike DeCubulis, saying, hey, you're very successful. You've been doing this 20 years, working with personal injury attorneys. What do you need to do if you're a chiropractor to be successful with the personal injury attorney? Because that personal injury attorney can work with any chiropractor they choose. So why would the personal injury attorney give the lead to the chiropractor versus, this chiropractor versus the other chiropractor? So Tristan's interviewing Mike, and Mike is saying, well, make sure that you understand what the personal injury attorney is looking for, that here's the kind of charts they're looking for. This is how they do settlements with the insurance company. And this has nothing to do with digital marketing for chiropractors, for Tristan's company, right? Tristan's agency serving chiropractors, he's not even talking about the details of digital marketing and how much money you should spend on your ads and what's a good landing page, or what are his favorite SEO tools. For example, we use SEMrush, right? But we never really talk about that. Instead, we're looking at it from the standpoint of our customer or client, and who does the client respect? Who is the top person? So think about who your client target is. Who is it that they respect? Can you interview them? So Andre's smart, Fullfunnel. So he's looking at the people who are the best in digital marketing. And if you search in digital marketing, you probably see my name, right? So then he wants to interview me. And we're not even talking about his products and services. Yet, when you can see Andre and I together, that's creating a lot of trust, because then he's going to take this recording, chop it up into different pieces, promote the different highlights that we learned along the way. And then people who are in my audience, which is 400, 500,000 digital marketers, he'll boost to that audience. He'll boost to people that read Social Media Examiner, because that's a lot of my audience. He'll boost to digital marketer, which is an audience that I train for, or people that go to Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is where I speak. And a lot of the people, because those people know who I am, right? There's a few 100,000 people that know who I am there. But then when they see that Andre and I are having a discussion, they'll say, well, this guy must be pretty good, right? So you're just leveraging the trust. So who is the equivalent of who you can leverage the trust with? And that's how you're going to generate B2B marketing leads. It's not about the techniques and the changes with iOS 14 and campaign budget optimization and all the different, like, we can talk about the techniques of tuning your ads on Facebook, but the biggest fundamental thing that people are missing is they just don't understand the strategy of collecting content that's high authority, and then using Facebook as a mechanism, as an amplifier, as a megaphone to get it out there. I'd love to see you guys here. I see there's a dozen of us or so here and more people on the live. What do you guys think? Do you have, let me know, just yes or no in the chat. Do you have a lighthouse figurehead, someone who your customers would respect, who's well known? Just yes or no. And if you're, watching this later on YouTube, think about this. Yes or no. Do you have that person? Because if you don't have that person, it doesn't matter how good you are at Google ads, Facebook ads, lead gen. It doesn't matter. You need to have that kind of person. And usually it's not going to be the CEO of your company. It's going to be someone else who's known in the industry, who isn't even necessarily a customer, but someone that you have a strong enough relationship with that you could get them onto a podcast, right? Or into a clubhouse room.
Absolutely. I remember the chat we had during my Fullfunnel B2B Marketing Summit. And actually, you gave a pretty good advice to me. So what I did, unfortunately, I didn't start to work. That's my bad. I didn't start to work on the top of the funnel, but the reason is why it didn't happen just because we launched fullfunnel.io and it took a lot of time to rebrand, get lead and onboard new customers. But that's not the case. What we started doing is actually we started interviewing our clients and used these small videos. So we created small videos that we could easily use for sales enablement programs. Next time, for example, we got a new inquiry, we got a new, let's say, high quality sales opportunity. So we created a simple content hub and we put the most interesting parts of our interviews with our customers. Let's say we got an inquiry to implement account-based marketing program. So we just put 5 minutes video of how, let's say, CEO or chief marketing officer of our client describes the process of collaborating with us and the results they got. Pretty simple, the best social proof, and they see this connection. So what I'm going to do, and this is our strategy for this year, so to double down on this activity as well, we have, as you mentioned, we have actually 3 groups of people with who we are connecting. So first of all, our customers or people who belong to our ideal customer profile. So that's the first group who might be potential customers of Fullfunnel.io. Next, we have B2B marketing or digital marketing leaders like you, and we have had all the world-known marketers like Matt Hines, Gaetano Dinardi, all these people, John Miller from Engager as well, who you already mentioned. So all these people were on this podcast. And secondly, which obviously helps to build the credibility with the audience, build the trust and expand the audience. And the last group are micro-influencers or people who, let's say, have niche assets like communities, like newsletters, etc. So they collaborate with a small audience, but with highly engaged audience. And this is the fantastic opportunity to expand your network with target accounts and expand your reach. So I absolutely love it. And I completely agree that it helps a lot to build this trust. Quite often, if I understood correctly, let's say, this demand generation that Facebook might, but it's not only about Facebook. I think this is a high-level strategy. You can implement the same for LinkedIn, for Twitter as well. Instead of retargeting customers with your case study, so let's say a free trial, sign up for a free trial or book a demo call or sign up for a webinar, you can start retargeting them with these small videos that actually build trust. And basically you start appearing in their newsfeed. This is what you called, I remember, the $1 strategy. So you can appear in their newsfeed regularly and they see your content, they start thinking, okay, this guy is everywhere, this company is everywhere, and they're sharing relevant content and valuable content. So maybe I should take a look, and that's the best way actually to build the trust. And a quick question to you guys: how do you feel like? Can you apply the same strategy in your business? Does it make sense? Do you like it? Do you think you have an opportunity to connect with these 3 groups of people, like I mentioned, influencers, micro-influencers, and your customers or prospects, and do this sort of interviews and then leverage this content for, let's say, for top of the funnel retargeting or advertisement? So Bjorn just mentioned that our convo is better than Clubhouse. I believe so. At least we can have a real chat. So as I mentioned, if you would like to join, just PM me and I will unmute you so you can ask your questions as well. So this is brilliant. Thanks a lot for sharing this. One more question. So let's say this is great for demand generation, for building trust with the audience. And like maybe a technical slash technical question. So let's pretend we have a target account. It can be, enterprise company with the highest potential lifetime value or the highest potential average contract value. And we want just to engage with the entire buying committee, how to use the advertisement, Facebook or any other media in the most efficient way, besides what we have talked about, to engage these people. The goal is obviously to build this relationship and to accelerate the sales cycle.
Let's say that I wanted to target Jason Coots, who's a fractional CMO. I didn't want to cold call him because I don't want to be known as doing something like that. Well, then I might creep on him on LinkedIn, and I see that I'm a second-degree connection, that he's in Jacksonville, Florida, and we have 10 other friends in common, because LinkedIn will tell me that. And I see that Tuck Ross and Kent Lewis, who runs Anvil, Andre, you and I are mutual friends. Chris Spalding, Tim Hughes, Josh Dreller, right? He runs content marketing at Kenshu. Wow, we have a lot of powerful contacts. So I would take those particular articles and I would retweet them. I would find the latest content of those folks on LinkedIn and engage on it. I'd even engage on Jason's content and he'll notice it, right? That creates a warm touch. And then if I really want to go for the gold and I see that his latest content is around, let's see, if I go down to activity, I click see all activity. By the way, you can do this, your SDRs can do it, you can have VAs do it. I go look at his latest post. 4 days ago, he made a post, works for a fabulous brand and a fabulous marketing team. I click like on that. Then 5 days ago, he says, there are many marketing use cases that enable OTT ads to be part of your marketing mix, right? Oh, that's Forbes, let's see. So I'm looking for content, let's say that he's created, right? Oh, here's one, that's a post a week ago. Irrational exuberance is defined as unfounded market optimism that lacks a real foundation of market valuation. Blah, 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 eating dinner. Over here, people talking about how they bought GME and the hedge fund managers. This feels like a textbook. I got to run for the hills and get out of the market mentality. And then I might comment and say, I agree, we are in a bubble, right? So I'm not mentioning my services. I'm not talking about we need to get on a call, but if he sees that we have enough, he says, Sly Dog, yeah, this is what you do. And the way it turns into a Facebook ad is I can do this at scale because I can take all the people in my core avatar. So if I'm using ABM and I have a list of prospects that are all very similar, I put them into a custom audience, an email custom audience. You guys know what an email custom audience is, right? And I'd also take a website custom audience. And I take content. Let's say I really wanted to go after Jason because he's a really high value target, you know, a big company, exactly the kind of client that I want. I can do this with anybody here. I'm just picking people's names here. Right? I see Yolanda, Stanislav, Gaurav. I can look up any of you guys and do the same thing. Aman, yeah, Bjorn, I could do that on you. I could look up these different people, put all of these into an audience, and then say, I could write an article or have a VA write the article on the 7 things that you need to know about such and such, about you know, Jason, right? I'll share my screen. How about this? Check this out.
Yeah, that would be
Just
fantastic.
so you can see that I'm not making this up, right? So here, I'm on LinkedIn and I'm creeping on Jason's profile, which also would send a notification to him that I'm looking at him, right? Then what I'll do is, because most B2B marketers, they just don't have enough content, right? And they don't have content, and because they don't have content, they don't have visibility, which then is where Facebook ads comes in, right? Facebook ads increases your visibility, but if your strategy isn't right, then it really doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's look at, let's see, okay. So I'm looking at fullfunnel.io, okay? So I'm looking at you now, because you're a marketer teaching other marketers, right? I'm using the SEO Quick plugin, just from an SEO standpoint, but this does tie into Google Ads, and you'll see. So I do a site colon search, which is asking Google, how many web pages do I have? And pretend this is your site, right? Do a site colon for your site. There's only 33. See here, 33. So this is only 33 opportunities to be able to show up. But Andre, how many people have you interviewed?
So far, this is episode number 44.
Okay, so there should be one web page on each episode. So you should create
No, we did I decided to, to take a different approach to this. So I just created one page for the podcast, as you can see, this one, yeah, exactly, where you can listen to all the previous episodes. But you can go to, so you can subscribe on your favorite platform, or you can check this podcast hosting platform called Spreaker. And you can on this platform you'll have individual pages for each of the episodes.
You can, but it needs to be on your website too, because when you interview other people, what you said is, yeah, they could go to Spreaker, they could subscribe on iTunes, but they don't know who you are. Okay, you don't have any links coming to this particular page. You have 0. You have 1,000 backlinks to the site, but the same kind of SEO metrics. I want everyone here to listen to this. This is a common mistake people make. And this is why they fail at Facebook ads. Their content's not being seen. You've got interviews with John Miller. Good grief. I would take the interviews with John Miller and target everyone in the marketing automation community, because he and Phil founded Marketo. They're friends of mine. Oh, you have Sujan Patel, Kieran Flanagan. Wow. How many people do you think have seen this, have heard this?
Around, I think 500.
But most people haven't. Now, some people might want to listen to a podcast. Some people want to subscribe to a webinar. Some people like to read blog posts. You have to meet people where they are. Some people here, they're scrolling on Facebook and they can see, what's going on here. But you need to meet people where they are. You can't assume that they're going to go to Spreaker. You can't assume that they're going to watch you on, YouTube or whatever, right? So you can take these episodes, you can take things that Jason has, comment on it, or turn it into articles. And let's say that I don't know anything about being a fractional CMO, but I need to generate, or maybe I do, but I don't have enough time to write highlights covering all of my friends and all the topics that they have. Oh, why is this not loading? You know what? I'm in a hotel which has weak internet. I'm in Dallas right now where there's no power. There's no transportation. All the flights are canceled for today. None of the restaurants are open here, by the way. I'm surprised I have enough internet to be able to do this thing with you, Andre. But let's say that I wanted to honor Jason, and I use one of my favorite AI tools. Let's say this one. And by the way, if you don't, this is so key to having great copy. So let's say Jason is a clever CTO, or not, a fractional CMO. Give me a tone. What kind of tone? Excited, professional. I'll just do this. I'll do 3 pieces. Okay. And anyone in the chat, give me one of these just to show you. And I can write blog posts. I can write headlines. I can write Facebook lines. Jason is a CMO with the ability to manage multiple projects at once, as well as be an integral part of the team. His ability to expand conversion rates by over 20%. He's a skilled fractional CMO. He's spearheading the rebranding campaign of our company by using his brilliant marketing skills to get us more customers. Okay. And give me something that you would talk about. Give me a sentence, anything, any topic. It's important to have a full funnel, or I think Facebook retargeting is a great thing to do. Give me something, say something.
Let's say something generic, B2B lead generation.
B2B lead generation, and what about it?
Let's say B2B lead generation in finance, or in
But it has to be a sentence. It has to be a start.
Okay.
The bot
So
the AI can continue to say something. What about it?
Yeah, let's say something. B2B lead generation. Okay.
It's hard. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah,
say something.
Hard.
Yeah, you've got to learn to communicate on these sorts of things, right? Because if you can't, you can have the most amazing AI, but if you can't feed the AI, it doesn't matter, right? So B2B lead generation is hard. I could probably be a little bit more specific than that, right? And here it is. I've tried to get into B2B lead generation, but I can't seem to find a good list of prospects. I know it's challenging to get new business, especially when you're in a B2B environment, but don't worry. I know some ways for you to, it sucks to not be able to make money, but I know you feel it because it's hard. And what I can do is, no, let me go back. I can use this, the IDA framework. I can write blog post ideas. Actually, here we go, blog post ideas, B2B lead generation. And give me a one sentence on Fullfunnel.
Okay, so let's say Fullfunnel.io helps B2B service-based and tech companies to accelerate sales cycle and grow revenue with account-based marketing. Let's say something like this.
Companies generate leads and accelerate sales through what? Through account-based marketing.
Yeah, let's say through account-based marketing.
And Andre has a great podcast. Okay. With smart guests. And let's just say B2B marketers is the audience. So let's look for blog post ideas. How to find the right sales email prospecting cadence. How to prepare for an upcoming product launch. Why you shouldn't be afraid to reach out to decision makers. How I use B2B marketing to grow my business. How to generate 10 leads per month with Facebook advertising. Right? You see this? Then I can take any one of these and I can turn it into a blog post by using any one of these other tools. So now I can create a blog post outline, right? So let's see, the title is 11, wait, what was it? 10 clever ways to reach decision makers in B2B marketing, okay? So the robot is generating these. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this and giving you a strategy of generating content as it relates to Facebook ads is that anyone who's smart about Facebook ads knows that it's the ingredients that you put into the system. It's not how do you set up the ad campaign. That's mechanical. It's what you put in. If you don't put in the right ingredients, the system's so smart, right? It knows whether it's good ingredients. So here it is. Follow the company on social media. So here I'm asking the AI to generate a listicle in this case. Here's what it's doing, right? Read their blog posts and comment. Use LinkedIn to find connections with someone else at the company. That's something I just said. Attend trade shows or conferences for your industry and network there. Call customer service and ask for a referral in marketing or sales. That's pretty smart. Do research on who's responsible for making decisions about your product's use in the organization. Reach out to that person directly. Find a company's social media profile and follow them. Join a LinkedIn group related to your industry. Follow the. This is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is all generated by AI. This is pretty smart, huh?
Absolutely.
So I want you to think about how your success in lead gen using Facebook advertising is predicated upon the quality of the ingredients that you use. So when you interview someone else who's well-known, when you generate a good blog post, when you do something that honors someone in the industry, right? When you actually share high-value content, then people will want to engage with you. And you use Facebook ads as an amplifier. It's not that Facebook ads is amazing. It's not that Facebook ads doesn't work or it works, or those are all ridiculous discussions. Facebook ads merely is a delivery vehicle. So you could get mad at UPS or FedEx, or do you have Amazon delivering packages right where you are? There's all these delivery services, right? DHL, right? These places that deliver. Facebook is just another delivery company. Don't get mad at UPS or FedEx. It's not that FedEx is good or bad. What matters is what's inside your package, right? So use tools like this, use your podcast. What I was just showing you from an SEO standpoint, where content that you have with me and other folks who are well known, you need to put that into the package so that Facebook can deliver it. So even though you have part of it on Spreaker, or they can subscribe on iTunes, what you've done, Andre, is you've imprisoned your content. People can't see it. If they can't see it, what's the point of producing content that people can't see?
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. So for like in our case, we wanted to like initially to grow the audience on iTunes, and that was the key point. So all the links were, referring people to and sending the traffic to iTunes, which
I don't want to go to iTunes. If I'm on YouTube, I want to stay on YouTube. If I'm on Facebook, I want to enjoy the content on Facebook, right? We're talking here about Facebook ads. You need to get into Facebook. So what you do is you take snippets of that content, and then you would post it on the Andre, how do I say, Zinkovich? I can't say it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
That's
I would
right.
create a public page. Here, I'll show you again one more time. So I would do a search here. Spell your name. There it is. Okay. So now I do, I see you here. This is you as a person because it has friends. And I see co-founder, Fullfunnel. Your last post was quite a while ago. Oh, you got Nathan Latka. So we're friends. I remember him when he was still a child. He would hit me up all the time. He would come to my webinars and sneak into the back. And I had pulled him to the front on the go-to meeting and saying, Nathan, I see you there. And he would ask questions. All right, so you have this, but then if I do a search for you, there should be a public figure page. And there's, oh, here we go.
Yes, this is a public page.
So here it is. So for those of you guys that don't know, this is a page. It's not a profile.
Yes.
Okay? So here I click like, so you can take the page because it's got this other stuff here, right? And here you're interviewing these other people. And let's see, you did this however long ago. You interviewed this guy. Okay.
Almost half.
But is it getting traffic, right?
Yes.
You're getting live here, but is it getting traffic? A little bit, right? So you're interviewing, so you're doing the right thing in the production of content by interviewing other people. Let's see, you didn't tag him. You always have to tag your guests. That way they can notify, they can share it, right? So this maybe got a few hundred views, right? 200, 300 views maybe, right?
Yeah, more or less.
But so because this is a page, you can boost it. So I'm not admin on this page, so I don't have this, but if this is your page, you have a blue button right here that says boost.
Boost a post.
Boost it to all of your custom audiences, or boost it to people who are fans of this guy, Dan Gridden. Okay, so let's see. Dan Gridden. Can't even spell your name. Okay, close enough. So here's this. Okay, the Facebook one we just saw.
Yes.
Then here you are on LinkedIn. But oh, here's one. Podcast.apple. So let's see. There's some images. Okay. But there's so much more you could do with this, because
yeah,
if
absolutely.
I come here, I look at this. All right, here's the. Actually, you know what? This is not bad. This is pretty good. You could format it a little bit nicer, but this is pretty good, right? So you've written what's called show notes.
Yeah.
So the reason why you want to listen is because, 1, 2, 3. But you could do so much more, because you can cut snippets out of this. And you could promote this on all the other networks, right? And then I could take this and I could generate other things like, let's see which one. They just changed it. Not the headline. Testimonial helper is a good one. Social posts. Person to imitate. Yeah, Jason Lemkin, why not? Account-based marketing ideas. Okay. I can mimic anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that way we can just generate content off of the existing content that we have, right? See, look, this is pretty good. Maximize lifetime value, not revenue. All of the things you chase, such as cost per acquisition and number of sales, are just tactics to increase LTV. CPA is an absolute dollar amount. A vanity metric doesn't tell you anything about your capability to grow customers over time. Wow. I would have thought a human wrote that.
Me too. Me too.
You're doing ABM wrong. You're using a shotgun spray to kill an ant. Wow, that's pretty good. The AI thought of this. This is not from somewhere else. The AI generated this. Understand the original intent of ABM and how it's evolved in the past decade. Oh, this is a good one. The customer journey is broken. It's no longer linear, but an interconnected path that begins with awareness and goes through evaluation, purchase, and advocacy. That's pretty good. I'm going to go to Twitter. I'm going to tweet that. And I won't get in trouble for this because it's brand new content. It was just generated now.
Love it.
And I
Love
can
it.
say,
This is brilliant.
I will tweet this. Yeah. I didn't even generate it. I'm not cheating either.
Azenkevich without Andrei. Azenkevich.
I'm horrible at this, but so I would just tweet this, right? So easy. And then all the other people here are going to start noticing this. You can see these people are tweeting me, right?
Yeah.
People are tweeting me, they're sharing my tips. I'm giving lots of tips. See, look at this. I'm speaking at this conference. Okay, I'm speaking here. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what else is going on. This guy's tweeting me because I'm here with other people that are well known on Clubhouse. But I'll go to LinkedIn. Let's see my notifications. So the reason I'm doing this, see, look, I'm sharing tips. These people are engaging on my tips, right? And some of these are real tips. Like, look at this. Here's another Jason. My most effective marketing strategy is to give thoughtful gifts. So this is my friend Jason Portnoy, who's well known in the world of real estate. And so I sent him some socks with his face on them, right? And then all these people are commenting and engaging on this, right?
This is what we'll have to do as well.
This is what?
This is what we'll have to do as well at fullfunnel.io.
Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll say, if I go to, let's see. Here, you sent me this note. Our podcast tomorrow. Okay. Would you like to do a live stream on Clubhouse or do this thing here as we're doing now? And then what I'll do is I'm going to send it to my team, socks at Andre. So cool going live with you on advanced Facebook marketing, B2B. There. Now what our person is going to do is look you up, find your address, find your name, find your LinkedIn profile, and then send you a picture with your face. So the reason why, so I have a team of people, probably even shouldn't share you that I have all this different way of doing this, right? So you can see that, like here, like here's one, right? So I'm speaking on Valentine's thing. So Valentine says, hey, let's build a course together, blah, 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 blah. Then I send it to Socks, which is our team. Then our team orders it for all the people here. So let's see, they made the order. So here's the order, right? And it'll show it costs us a little bit more. So there's his face, right? We pay $15 to get the face socks. And then we have to pay for shipping. Oh, freaking, because it's international to Romania. So it's $30, you have to pay $15 shipping. Ugh. But you see, like, this is a way of doing it. So then what happens is these people get the face socks. Where was it? I just had it open.
On LinkedIn.
And then they're going, right? This actually, here's what happened. Is this Instagram? I think it's Instagram, right?
Yeah, probably.
So then he takes a picture of it, right? So then I take a picture, I take a screenshot on my phone of him doing this, and then I post it to LinkedIn. Okay, so you see what happened is that I was on this guy's podcast. I was so happy. Then I sent it to our team for fulfillment. So they ordered face socks. He got the socks. He then was so excited. He shared that on Instagram, I think, or is this Twitter? Yeah, I think it's Instagram. Then I screenshot that. I share that on LinkedIn. Then I share that inside our Zoom or inside whatever channel is. Then you guys are watching it and seeing this now. You see how many levels deep this is? And that this is generating social proof. So I can take this screenshot again and save image as Jason Portnoy. Okay. Now I can come to Facebook and I can post it on the public figure page. So you see that if you look at Denis Yu, so I'm tying it back to Facebook here, but I'm showing you the content creation site. So this one here, this is me as a user, the blue check mark, right? 5,000 friends is the limit. So I'm right at the limit. I always delete a few people just so I have some space, right? And there's things that I'm posting. So these are regular kinds of posts and people are tagging me. I'm talking about Clubhouse yesterday, right? I was very excited about Clubhouse. So all these people are talking about Clubhouse, right? So this is me as a user. I run Blitz metrics and I have part ownership on Cairo revenue, right? So this is me as a user, but if I do a search for me, there's me as a page, the public figure page, this one you can like, and then this one as a person, see? So now on my page, this is what I want you guys to do, yourself or your CEO, whatever is a page. Then I want you to start posting here. So you saw I just took a screenshot of Jason Portnoy, who said some good things about me, and I want to publish. So I'm going to publish the screenshot. This is too slow. Anyway, I would come here, I would publish it, and then I'd boost it. I'd boost it to all the people that are friends and fans in his audience and my audience, and that's going to be the most powerful kind of B2B lead gen you can do. So I'm taking content that's already working, that's high authority, and now I'm boosting it on Facebook for $1 a day. And this is what people don't understand about ABM, which is about relationship building. It's not about the Facebook ad side of things. It's because I'm honoring other people. I'm saying something interesting. I'm using these different tools. I'm summarizing their content. I'm a journalist, making them look good, right? And now that I have it on Facebook, I can see what's going on in my notifications, right? So I can see this is a group that I run. So you should have a group too if you don't have one already. This one's called Conquer Local Think Tank. So we have a couple thousand agencies that we coach. And you can see, oh, this guy's putting something good, right? That looks good. What is this person? I followed the hiring a VA process. The candidate loved it. I missed this out of the cart. They asked for $15 an hour. Yikes, you pay VAs $3 an hour, okay? And maybe $5 if they're good, maybe $6. Tristan replied. So I'm scanning through here, looking for good things that I can then feature, right? And people are creating content for us. So I'll start it off. So I said this a couple of days ago. I said, hey, I cannot believe this. I've been in my apartment for 4 whole days. I've not even left yet because I've just been working, right? And then all these people start commenting. And then what I do is I can take the content that they've written and I can turn it into a blog post. And the blog post can be 15 ways that, 15 things I realized when I didn't leave my apartment for 4 days or something like that, right? So I'm crowdsourcing. I'm having everyone else write my content for me, right? You can see here.
And
so here I'm talking about Clubhouse.
Actually, it's the best way to create a market research that people would be eager, to share on social media and as well backlink to your market research, because this is what we have done with Revenue Genius community. So basically we reached out to to give you a precise number. So 146 people agreed to contribute, So then we created a market research, published as a guest post. They allowed us to add backlinks as well. What we have done, we tagged every person that collaborated, and these people, they were eager, I assume 50% of these people promoted this content. So in total it generated 10,000 views in just 2 weeks.
But then you've got to keep it going. You've got to continue it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I look at fullfunnel.io, I want to be able to analyze that a little further and see where can I produce more content that I can then push into things like Facebook ads, right? So 194 backlinks. Where are these backlinks? Well, if you're producing good content, people are going to link to you if they see it. You've got a lot of content, but I think people don't see your content. right?
That's true. Actually, we started a new website in October, so it's like relevantly new, it's 3 months old.
Yeah. Yeah, so this whole thing with, you might wonder like, oh, I thought I was here for Facebook ads. Well, Facebook ads and SEO and PR are actually the same thing. Because if I don't have the ingredients, if I don't generate the traffic, or I'm using, so these are where your links are. Okay, so your most powerful links are all coming, the highest page authority score is get lead.
Yeah, that's the previous website.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I see here. You have to 301. I see that. Yeah, the previous website you're pushing here. So
Yeah.
outside of this one, outside of Get Leado, you don't have significantly, you don't have any of the high, like I'm looking for ones that are 40 and 50.
But that's weird because we have backlinks from Sales Hacker, from Revenue Genius, from Sumo.com. And this is weird because if I'll take you can see Revenue Genius, so it was yeah, here it is.
Okay, but this one is only a 14.
Yeah, this is
the page is a 14, but Revenue Genius as a site is probably a little higher, right? So this is great. Yeah, 146 leaders share this. So that's great. But the amount of juice that's being passed here is low. Yeah. So you need to, let's see. And then this article itself only has 5 backlinks, and they are low authority, 12, 11, 3, right? These are, there's only 5 links to this article. So when you have one of these, so I understand the crowdsource, like 146 people. So that way your hope, Andre, is that many of these 146 people are going to link to it because you're featuring them, right?
Yes.
But when you have 140 people, then they're like, I'm just one of the many people in this list. So even though this is a tactic that does work and you sometimes can get lots of links, usually it doesn't. Even though it might be great content, even though you have some high power people in here. So let's see what you have here. And I'm going to show you one that does work. So if I go to, let's go to this one on Rev Genius. Okay. 8 B2B marketing mistakes that rob you of revenue. Okay. So I would change the title here. So if it's 146 leaders share 8, how is it the 146 people share 8? I think it should just be 146 leaders share. Yeah, I get rid of the 8. All right. And this, okay, so you haven't generated any authority, so you're showing what the challenges are, but you haven't included the people yet.
No, it's
you haven't mentioned anybody yet.
It's at the end of the article.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a guest post, and we needed to align it with like their content policy.
Yeah. So you have some of the examples later here, but
yeah. So it's at the end.
You need to get this thing to be shared. So here, I'll show you one that can get shared. So I've done one on, let's see, this one, the Facebook algorithm explained for marketers, right? So this is Social Media Examiner. So Michael Stelzner and I did a podcast. So he's well known in social media marketing, right?
Yes.
And here we talk about this. So here's the podcast. We talk about it, right? But it's available here on the webpage. No one has to go to that. They could still come here to these other places and hear it. But then he creates a real summary. You see, he wrote a real article here, right? It actually goes through this whole thing. So they don't have to listen to the podcast. They could listen to the podcast, but he turned the podcast into an article, which is what you should do. Our podcast here today should be an article.
Absolutely.
And here the site, Social Media Examiner, has an 87, pages of 29, and there's 184 backlinks just to this article. This article alone has 184, right? So when this loads, I use SEMrush and Ahrefs and Moz. I use all the tools. I compare, right? Now this one, Keep, is the first one that has a URL of 41 and a domain rank of 82. Now you can see they're linking. See, all these ones are linking to this one article. See this? They're all linking to the one article featuring me. And you can see that there's just so many of them, right? And then this site overall has 2.8 million links. So the reason why this matters from a Facebook standpoint is when I have something good like this, I'm going to take this and then I'm going to share it to Facebook, and I will say, I can share it on my page. I can share it as Blitz metrics, right? If you're confused, if you're increasingly confused, I can have the bot generate this, okay? About the Facebook algorithm. This will to make it like I care about you. Okay, there. If you're okay. As a marketer or entrepreneur, business owner. Okay, there. Then I'll share from my page. Go to Blitz Metrics, and I can boost it, right? I can come here, I can share the same thing, post it in, right? Same thing. I got to go to Business Manager. I don't want to do that right now. But I want you guys to see what I'm doing here, right? What matters is the collection of interesting high authority content, reusing something. That article was 3 or 4 years ago. I just shared. Why wouldn't I use it again and again and again? So you have a great video with John Miller, right? That's fantastic. How many times have you shared that? You should have shared it 30 times.
You got me. Not that much. Not that much.
But then why are you keep having more podcasts, right? More interviews. And that's the fault. So I know you're being a good sport, right? For everyone else is a good example. That most people, they just want to, episode 43, episode 44. Well, instead of like, let's try to get more episodes, let's try to get more out of the episodes we've already made, right?
Totally makes sense.
And you can do both, right? So continue to have more episodes, but then you need to have a team of virtual assistants or other folks that are promoting and generating more traffic and cutting up the pieces and boosting and all this, right?
Yes. So this is a goal. As I mentioned, I'm making it like my public promise that this year we completely we'll implement the entire system as you shared. This is my public promise. So now
our entire system of generating that is what we call the influence generator course. We have everything laid out step by step on exactly how we do this, right? Do you think I'm the one who's doing this? Of course not, right? And you might be thinking, you're a leader. Are you doing this? Do you want, well, you know it needs to be done, but then do you want to do this, or are you going to have someone else do this? That's the way to think about it.
That's true. Can you please drop a link to your course here in the chat so people who are interested might check it?
I will do one better. If you want any of our training, send a note to operations@blitzmetrics.com and say the training that you want. In this case, the influence generator course. It's not a landing page. You have to send an email.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, if you're watching, send an email to operations@blitzmetrics.com and say, I want the influence generator course. And if this is maybe a little too complex because you're not ready to hire a team to do all of this, then say, I want Facebook for $1 a day, which is the course we want everyone to start with. So if you're new or maybe even if you're seasoned in B2B marketing, but you've not run Facebook ads and you don't know what to do, then the way to start is Facebook for $1 a day. That's the one thousands of people start with when they're doing lead gen, right? $1 a day too.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So for guys who are listening to the episode recording, you'll find this email in the episode description. So scroll down and check, see this email. So from my point of view, it was brilliant. Yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing all this stuff with us. Lots of practical examples. How do you guys feel about the episode? So please share quickly your feedback in the chat.
It's good, huh? It's only good Oh, masterclass. Boom says I'm on. Yolanda, thank you.
Yeah, just a quick question. So if it was valuable, please make a tweet or post on LinkedIn, on Facebook, whatever works for you, and just tag us. That will means a lot for me, for Denis as well.
I want you to take out your phone and take a picture right now, and like this, and smile. And that I'm taking this picture and I'm going to tag him right now on Twitter and on Facebook. So do the same thing, like take a picture.
Absolutely.
There's your chance to take a picture.
If you guys,
right? And
if
share
you
it.
guys can switch on your camera, so I will make a picture of all of us. So I will.
Oh, even better. Yeah, turn on your camera.
That would be fantastic.
See all you guys.
That would
With
be
all of us. Yeah, with all of us here. Take a picture. Yep, everyone turn their camera. You can even turn the audio on. Take a picture.
Excuse me. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Bjorn, I like that. Double thumbs up. I can only give you one thumbs because the other one's holding the phone. And then, you know, my favorite thing to do, besides taking just a picture, oh, Stanislav, I like your Golden Gate in the back, is I take a video. Okay, so Andre, you want to give a 15-second summary? Are you ready? When you're ready, give a 15-second summary of what we talked about.
Yeah,
You ready?
absolutely. So
and wait, and I'm gonna tell you when. And go.
So my favorite thoughts from these episodes are that you can leverage your content and you need to make more of it by using Facebook ads, by using Twitter ads. Just interview your best clients, interview industry thought leaders, make a short videos of the best parts of these episodes and promote this post to a target audience to boost the credibility and actually bond with your target audience and generate sales qualified opportunities. That's it. So this is amazing.
All right, 33 seconds. And then we want 15. Now, who are you? Real quick, who are you? Say who you are. Andre, say who you are.
Sorry, I just missed you. So Andre is founder at fullfunnel.io.
There you go. Okay, now who wants to give this a shot? To come on the video and give one tip that they learned, something that was interesting. Anyone else? Yeah, bring back the video.
Everybody switched off the camera.
They're all scared to show the video, huh? No? Does anyone want to? Cooking, yeah, you don't have a camera. Who wants to give this a shot? On video. I will record your video for you. I'm your personal videographer. Dang it, got to run to my next meeting. Me too. Jason, so glad you're here, Jason. You guys have fun? Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a blast from my point of view. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time and for all this knowledge. And you guys, thanks a lot for coming. And please, like, I completely understand that not everybody is up to share the testimonial via video, but please make a post, tweet, post on Facebook, on LinkedIn or whatever, tag us, provide a feedback, and it will help as well. It means a lot for us. So looking forward to your support. See you in the next episodes. And Denis, thanks a lot. This was brilliant. This is one of the most valuable episodes we had.
Share it.
Absolutely.